Hello, everybody. This is Runray as always. I will try to keep this short and to the point. There is something that has befuddled many a person about my Social Security disability income benefits that I lost. Um, I have repeatedly at this point explained it to my family, and even they have trouble grasping it. So I figured I would make a quick video on the topic of the adult disabled child clause. So, the way the disability benefits work is that if you, um, in my case, I can't speak for anybody else. In my case, what happened was I was diagnosed with disabilities before the age of 22, I think it is. It might be 21, but I think it's 22. And since I was diagnosed with them at a young age, and because my biological father, was already receiving benefits, SSDI benefits, as a result of him working the minimum amount of time before becoming diagnosed with his disability. He got disability the old-fashioned way. So, those of you who don't know, you have to work in order to earn disability. In my case, I did not. Did not. More on that later. I received the adult disabled child clause because of being diagnosed so young and having a biological parent who is diagnosed and pulling benefits already. They gave me, I believe it was 50% of the same amount he received. So I got less than he did, but I did get it for not working, so I kind of got the benefits for free, so to speak. Because I was on his benefits and not my own benefits, not only did I need to know his social security number, his birthplace, his mother's maiden name, his mother's birthday, his birthday, all of that, to basically, if I could not impersonate my father, then they would deny me the ability to access my own disability account over the phone. That was very tedious. But anyway, he was an orphan, so I never met the lady. You know, this is a woman who passed away in the 70s, and I was born in 97. So yeah. Anyway. When he passed away, they increased my benefits from 50% of his check to 75% of his check. He passed away the month I got married, so that was the month I became ineligible for the adult disabled child clause. And I could no longer draw from his benefits. I would have to qualify for my own. If I lost whatever financial stability I had at the time, which I have. Not only do I not have the income of a partner, which I had at the time because I, got married, but I also do not have inheritance anymore, especially after paying for the divorce out of pocket and paying for inpatient treatment at a facility for my postpartum OCD that almost ended my life. But anyway, after spending all that money out of pocket to get my life in accordance, I ended up in, I think, February of 2025, applying for SSI benefits, not SSDI, because I don't qualify for that yet. I haven't worked yet. I worked for 7 months as a nursing assistant, never got certified, and then quit and gone on disability. And this is my first time seeking official employment instead of, posting ads to Craigslist to do, like, I have clown makeup, and I used to do birthday parties for little kids. Anyway, I stopped doing it because I can't stand on my feet for hours on end. Even though I could for a while, it gets cumulative. But anyway, I am trying to figure out, which I will be talking with the person on the phone from SSI at my appointment later this month. I will ask them while I'm on the phone with them if I remember. If not, I'll make another appointment. But anyway, the website doesn't know how to answer the question of if you were on the adult disabled child clause, got married, and now you've been divorced and need to apply for SSDI, how long do you have to work? Because it has to do with how long you've worked before getting diagnosed, and I got diagnosed at 16 before ever working. So the website cannot answer my questions no matter how many tabs I click on. So I need to talk to a human who actually knows how this works. He'll probably have to call me back in a few weeks after talking to a chain of professionals who know more on the topic than he does. But I do qualify for SSI now because I have run out of inheritance, because they were counting that as liquidatable, and therefore it made me ineligible for SSI, even though it didn't make me ineligible for SSDI. Isn't that weird, But anyway, because I ran out of money, I now qualify for SSI and more food stamps than before and all that. But I am going to be seeking employment with non-customer facing jobs, meaning I don't interact with a customer, just with, staff, management, stuff like that, fellow employees. That way I can sweep and do dishes and cook and all sorts of stuff behind the scenes without talking to a customer who might trigger me or befuddle me or something like that, And when I get on a blood pressure medication where someone pissing me off doesn't make me pass out, then I will start doing customer-facing jobs. And eventually, after somewhere between 7 and 10 years, I should qualify for SSDI all over again on my own, which I'll be so proud of when I accomplish. But I don't know exactly how long I have to work to qualify for SSDI. I will let y'all know. Because who knows? I feel like this should be public information, If you were a child when you were diagnosed, your dad is on disability, you get disability automatically. But if you get married, unless the person you're married to is registered as receiving SSDI themselves, you lose it. And because my ex-wife is able-bodied and registered, she's apparently not actually diagnosed with anything that she said she's diagnosed with. So she, on paper, has a clean bill of health and therefore does not receive any benefits. She works. And I don't yet. And I had to pay for the divorce. I feel like that's a little unfair. We'll rectify that this year or next, but that's for another discussion. But yeah, the adult disabled child clause is different than regular disability in that you receive it based off of a parent's, like your dad or your mom, your biological parents' benefits. I'm assuming if someone adopts you, you can get it off of them too, their benefits too, but don't quote me on that. The dad that adopted me was not on disability until like the end of his life when I was already an adult. And even then it was only for hospice reasons. So I don't know anything about drawing benefits off of an adoptive parent. However, I do know that if before you turned 18, you were drawing child benefits of any kind, like if they were paying, if they pay their child support payments using an arrangement from SSDI, and then you turn 18 with already a disability, they just kind of. I had the magical experience of going to a hospital that assigned a social worker to follow my case after I was discharged from the 10-day psych stay and keep talking to the officials on my behalf. So I didn't have to jump through any of the hoops myself. I just have to wait for letters in the mail to appear. I got denied. They said they'll let me know how reassessment goes. I got denied a second time, and then the reassessment of the second one, I believe, is how I got approved for SSI. And then, because I was approved for SSI and under a certain age and diagnosed with a qualifying disability, and my dad was already drawing benefits, I got the adult disabled child clause. And I didn't have to jump through any hoops. I just had to wait for the letters to appear in the mail. And they said I got, like, I think it was like 25,000. No, it was more than that. Back pay for the SSI was about, I think it was $7,000. And the back pay for SSDI was 19,500, something like that, roundabouts. And I remember that was the first time I ever used Facebook Pay, where you use Messenger to send money to someone, like Zelle, but through Facebook. It was my first time ever using it, and my mom was like, this is like basically the only way we can get this to work, so let's just do it. And I was like, oh my god, I'm sending my mom $5,000 over Facebook. This sounds so dangerous. Okay, I'll trust her. And I hit send, and it went through. And she held on to $500 for me, so that when they checked my account at the next pay period, it would not show above the $2,000 limit, that if you have too much money in your account, they will deny you your check after giving you the money. So I hope this has been educational, and if you have any questions, let me know. If I can, I will try to remember to ask the representative about any questions that are left in the comments. And if not at this upcoming appointment, then at another appointment in the future, I will ask. All right, I will see y'all in the next one. Love you. Bye.